A really common question we get from small business retailers is, how do I get more traffic to the website? How do I get more eyeballs looking at what I'm selling? There's no easy answer. Um, Besides having a good website with good product descriptions and all of the things that we tell you from a web development perspective, the other single best thing you can do to drive traffic to your website is to have regular blog posts being loaded. Now, that may feel like a bit old school, but it works. I know it works. I'm using it in my own businesses, and it works an absolute treat. People say they don't have time to do it. I'm going to show you in a moment a hack or an easy way to generate those blog posts. The best blog posts, though, are those that are written by you, that reflect your content, your knowledge, where you're sharing that with people. They should be single topic. Don't write about 20 different products. They should have some useful information about how to use a product you're talking about. They should have some advice based on your experience, something that leverages what's unique about you and your business. Otherwise, it's just going to be bland content like everybody else has out there. If you give an AI platform a link to a product and say, write me a blog post, it's going to come up with something that's useful for sure, but it's going to be average compared to uh, what else is out there. Also, probably average. The more of you put into the content, the better. And that's what brings me to this hack. You could sit down and write the blog post, 350, 400, 500 words. You could do that and crank it out yourself. That's a good thing to do. A lot of you tell me you haven't got time. So what I do is I will go to my phone, and on my phone I will use this particular, oops, I can't get it with my finger. There we go. Oh, wrong one. This particular icon just here, that recording one. So I go and press that, and this is the voice memo on the iPhone. You've got a similar one on Samsung, I'm sure. And you can go in there, you press the red button and you start recording. So if I press that, uh, it's recording now. You can see that it's recording what I'm saying right now. So earlier I made a recording, and I want to show you how I use Google Gemini to turn that recording into a unique blog post. So I'm going to share my screen. I go into Gemini. So you can see that on here now. Over here, I've got access to files on my laptop. I've loaded them from the phone over to here, and I'll go to downloads here. There's this recording here, which I know is the one that I want to use, and I'm going to give it a prompt. So here's the prompt that I've pre-written, and I'll share this in the text that I email customers about too. But it's pretty simple. Write a 400 plus word blog post based on what I provide. Write a good headline too. Use a calmer professional tone, Australian spelling, no jingoistic phrases, no Aussie slang. Keep the sentences short, not overwritten, not bloated, no filler words, no ellipses either, and do not use all caps or paragraph headings that can look like AI generated. This needs to read like it's human generated. Don't hallucinate. The blog post is for the content in the recording I load here, just being clear about that. So I've told Gemini to go away and create it. It's loaded this particular recording. I think this one's about our fashion shop software, which it is. So it's already generated that, and you can see it's written the blog post here. Now, it is Australian spelling, and it's staying within all of the parameters that I've set. You can do this within ChatGPT or Gemini. I like Gemini. It's kind of my preferred one out of the two at the moment. That might change. So it's generated this based on the content that I've provided. And if you listen to the recording, I'm not going to necessarily share it with you, but if you listen to the recording, that recording is 3 minutes long. And look, you can stumble over it, you can fumble. Uh, it will take care of that while it's analyzing it. But it's generated this content based on the recording that I made. That's ready for me to go and load into the Tower Systems blog that's connected to our website. My point here is really simple. Yes, I've used Gemini to go and create that content, but it's created that content based on the recording that I made. If I go and plug that content into an AI detector, it's going to say that there's a 90% chance that it's human generated content. If instead I point a link to our website page that promotes our fashion shop software and say, write a blog post for me, and if I plug that content into an AI detector, it's going to say there's a 90% chance it's AI generated. The reason this has a low chance of AI generation is because I've told it to not hallucinate outside of what I share with it. And secondly, the only source that I've given it is the content that I've recorded on my phone. Now, that recording, as I said, took 3 minutes on here. It took me a couple of seconds to jump it across to my computer, a couple of seconds to load it in Gemini. I've already got the prompt. I've got the prompt pre-written and I store that elsewhere on my computer. So I could crank out, in this case, a 450-word blog post in under 5 minutes. So if you're time poor and not able to get blog posts written for your website as efficiently as you want, this is one way you could do it. There probably are people who'll have opinions on whether this is the right way or not. For sure, writing it originally yourself at the keyboard is the best outcome. But I understand people are time poor. This is the next best. I would say this is 100 times better than just giving Gemini URL and saying, hey, write it for me from scratch, because that's going to be what they call AI slop. This here, what this is generating, is absolutely not AI slop, and it's working again because I'm only giving it the recording. Hopefully it's useful. If you've got any feedback or comment, hey, come back and let me know. Thanks for watching.